American beef is bad for you, it's full of hormones, that's why Australia banned it. Bleh. While yes, United States beef was banned in Australia for over 2 decades, it was never due to a quality concern. And it wasn't from a trade war, and it wasn't from a tariff war either. It was a direct response to a deadly disease that was a global pandemic. And no, we're not talking about COVID. But if you haven't heard, July 2025, the gates are officially back open. So why was the United States beef locked out for so long, and what does this mean for American cattle producers? Let's get into that. So why did the ban happen at all? Well, it started back in 2003 when the United States confirmed its very first case of BSE. It's also known as mad cow disease. Now, the disease is deadly. The disease can be transmitted to humans through infected beef, causing a fatal condition of a variant called Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Now, countries around the world, including Australia, immediately halted U.S. beef imports to protect their food systems and for their public health. I don't think anybody could disagree with that decision. If you don't know, Australia has some of the strictest biosecurity laws in the entire world. I should know, I've been in Australia several times. And so the country wasn't about to take a risk. Their domestic beef industry, it's disease-free, and they wanted to keep it that way. And you might be asking yourself, all right, so why did it take 20 years to get it lifted? Well, in 2019, Australia partially reopened their door, but there was a catch. The beef that they would accept could only come from animals that were born, raised, and slaughtered in the United States. That sounds doable, right? Well, here's the problem. The United States beef supply chain is interconnected across North America, and a lot of cattle are born in Canada or in Mexico, and they're finished out here in the United States and then processed. So back then, we didn't exactly have a national traceability system that could prove these animals and their origin. So technically, the market was open, but no animals were really approved to get in because of this lack of traceability. All right, so let's fast forward to 2024. Why are things shifting now? Well, the United States beef industry implemented a modern traceability system that could verify where animal was born, raised, and even harvested at. And this process allowed us to trace things even across borders. Now, Americans are split on whether they like the new implementation of EID tags or not, but despite how you feel, the detailed scientific risk assessment, the Australian government determined that these improvements met their strict biosecurity standards. So, a few days ago, as of July of 2025, they officially lifted the ban and opened the Australian market up to not only just fresh, but frozen beef once again. But what does this mean? The Australian producers, they have plenty of their own beef, and reopening this market again gives U.S. exporters an access to high-value meat and savvy consumer base. Now, the symbolic win, the American ranchers, and proof that their progress in food safety and traceability is another example of how global agriculture is evolving. This 20-year ban isn't just about meat, the critical role that technology plays across the world. But let me say it louder for the people in the back. Once again, this was never about a quality concern of United States beef. No. This was a biosecurity concern. As well it should have been. So as we move forward, remember the United States beef is some of the highest quality and safest beef product you can get across the planet. That's why so many countries import it. That's why so many countries have a high dollar demand that we actually sell our offcuts to a lot of countries, especially Asia, because they realize not only is this a great quality product, it's also safe. Something that some other countries can't say. But I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. If you want more ag-based facts content like this, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment and let me know what you think and what ag issue you want me to cover next. I am just waiting for the caring comments on this one.